Hey,
Hello.
how do you do?
Greetings.
Yes.
This is the Marriage Mechanics back at ya.
Hey, coming in here to tweak some stuff, some oil changes and
Get ready to get back on the road.
get
Keep
under
on
your
journey.
undercarriage. Get under your undercarriage.
And get back on
Put
the
some
journey.
air in these tires around here that's going a little flat. We want to get on the road this summer, so
That's
let's
it.
get going, huh?
Get this journey going.
Let's
Get
go.
this journey
Happy
going.
summer, everyone.
Yep, the summer is here.
Officially, yeah.
We experienced summer solstice, the longest day of the year, and and now we're moving on into getting ready to progress, moving throughout the summer,
Yeah.
and getting ready to move on, heading on to the end of the summer, getting in the fall. So let's talk about
What? Baby. No,
we don't need to talk about that. We will, but it won't be. It'll be a closed form on a Zoom, and I want to share that with you. We're going to be scheduling a couple of Zooms just to really talk about some very intimate topics, and that'll be coming up within the next couple of weeks. We're going to be putting some posts out there on our Facebook page, or Covenant for Life Couples and Marriage Maintenance page, as well as we'll probably do a commercial or two for our YouTube page to send you over to our Couples and Marriage Maintenance page, so that you'll be able to get connected and with the link.
Yeah. The link. Trying to get connected.
This one here, and I love it.
She's my summer. She's hot.
Oh, come on, hot summer. Back to what we were talking about, because he's going in a whole other direction. But be looking out for the links. We're going to talk about some good stuff. We're going to be taking some questions. And we're also going to have a couple of people that have marriage maintenance ministries and stuff.
So we're going to do some road trips this summer. Huh?
Yeah.
How about that?
We're
Some
going to
road trips.
have a good time.
Yeah.
Yep, and so be looking out for the Zooms. So what we're talking about, and our topic for this episode is embracing empty nesting. We have reached the summer. Children have graduated from high school. Just about everybody. Congratulations to all of our 2021 graduates. You made it through a very difficult and challenging year.
Be it high school, be it college,
whatever. Elementary, transitioning from elementary school to middle school. Everybody, you did a lot of your work virtually, so we celebrate you. We congratulate the teachers as well, and parents who had to dual roles of being parent and teacher and tutorer and all of that good stuff too. So hats off to you all, but most of all, we really salute our graduates of 2021 class. And with that being said, we have, our children, they're now transitioning. They're transitioning from home to college. College campuses are opening back up. Dormitories are, most colleges for the freshman year, the dorms require that the college require that they stay on campus for that first year.
So with that college. All being said, guess what time it is?
Empty nesting time.
Empty nesting time.
For a lot of people. Some may still have children at home, but a lot of people are getting ready to experience the nest being empty.
And you know what, honey? The thing is about that, I know we do this kind of every year, even when we're not the marriage maintenance mechanics in this setting.
Right.
We always talk about the topic of empty nesting.
Yes.
Because guess what? It comes every year. Somebody
is empty nesting every year. Every year. And even if your child is not going off to college, they may be moving out, getting their own place. Moving to live in a different place. They may be going into the military.
Right.
It's so many different things that may happen that cause you to no longer be the CEO and overseer of your child's or whatever it might be. It may have been a guardian or a godchild or whatever, but you're no longer that over their lives.
You could have had 5 and gotten down to that one. And now that one is gone. And,
and your life has been nothing but governing and seeing about your children on top of working and doing whatever it is. And this is for dads, moms, aunties, uncles, grandmas, because you're going to feel an absence of your children not being right there around you immediately all the time. And it's important that you now understand how to navigate that.
And you know what? I also thought about another thing. Empty nesting, that, you know, sometimes it's not just meaning everyone's gone.
Right.
But it could be a particular person that's gone. Like you said, sometimes now the child or the individual who were in the house before, and they could now be going into the military.
Right.
And now that it's an absence of that one being there. So it's like, what are we going to do? Because so and so, that one person could have brought a lot to the table. Could have been the energy of the family.
Right.
Been the one
well,
that
let's keep everything laughing and going. Or
could have been a bill payer.
Yep. Help they took responsibility for something. Or it just was the one who would try to keep things a little bit light because they were responsible. Like, for instance, you could have had a son that was always there to make sure that a particular thing, that a task that needed to be done every day during the week.
Right, especially if you're working two jobs, you have to get here to there, and you know they
took care of those things were being done.
In the house that were being, you know.
Right. Or you might have had a daughter that, you know, she made sure that she was the one who prepared dinner every evening while you did breakfast. And now you're going to have to now start strategizing how to prepare meals when you get in from evening for you and your spouse or whatever. So it's so many different dynamics that happen, and that's just, you know, with just tasks and chores and responsibilities. But the other piece is
because everybody that someone is always just leaving out, and this would be the true people could be the one person. Also,
that's right.
You know,
but the mental part is a whole nother mental aspect that takes place when your children leave as well. With parents, you know, concerns, worrying, making sure that their children are going to be safe, making sure that they're not going to get in any trouble, making sure that you equip them enough to make the best choices and right decisions that they can make. All of that is being done. So we have to make sure that we really, you know, deal with the mental aspect of that when we start talking about, you know, there being absence and they might not be there to help catch some things or make some things happen around the house or whatever that you've given as responsibilities. But there's a whole nother mental piece where you're going to have to learn how to release. Release them and let them go and know that you've equipped them.
A couple of pointers is, you know, they're going to have to go ahead and go, and you kind of get used to them not being there by, you know, but you have communication with your telephone.
That's right.
But you can't just expect them to be there just every time you pick up the phone and want to talk.
That's right. Because let me tell you something.
Know how to wean yourself.
One of the things that when our children, when they move out and get into a different arena, whether it doesn't matter whether it's a school or getting their own place or whatever, or going into the military. You know, military is boot camp, it's basic training. You're not going to be able to talk to them
for that. About 4 weeks.
4 to 6 weeks, however long. And then when they go off to their schools, once they go through boot camp, they're going to. It's limited because they got to stay focused.
Right.
When they go off to school, they got to go through a whole adjustment of the new norm of being their own CEO. Right. And they're going to have to learn how to navigate some things. And they're going to learn it quickly. And they're going to also recognize that I don't have somebody that's over me constantly telling me what I can and can't do now. So they're going to, you know, they're going to adjust to the fact that I can move when I want to and I can do what I want to, how I want to. Yes, they may be still in your pocket. That's what we always say all the time with our kids. You know, you think you're grown, but now you're not really grown as long as you're in my pocket. And that's true to a certain extent. Right. Yes, they're still in your pocket as far as you help and take care of their education.
Right. But you gotta learn how to wean that as well.
Even wean that off, because they gotta learn that this education is theirs and not yours. Right. So there's some things that they're gonna need to feel the brunt of when it comes down to the financial part. So they might have to do work study, and that's gonna pull away from them being able to pick up the phone and call and talk to you all the time. But set a schedule, right, honey? Set like a schedule. Say, text me, text mama, Monday and Friday, or however, once a week. I want to hear from you. Text me, and I don't want to. And mom and dad, they don't have to talk to you audibly. Just have them text you and say, hey, things are going great. I'll talk to you on so-and-so date or whatever.
And we know how this world that we live in, you do want to make sure that's your child that you're talking to. So it is good, you do want to hear audible sometimes.
Yeah. But and y'all and set that up.
Again, it don't
set
have to be an everyday thing.
That's right.
Learn how you have to move on with your life.
That's right. And so with him saying that, let's segue into moving on with your life. He couldn't have said it any better. We got to learn how to move on with our lives.
Because it moves on anyway.
And they're moving on.
Right.
Because you'll stay stuck with thinking that your child is going to be there with you forever. And they are moving on. They're progressing. They've gotten their education. And that's what I said. And they're doing just what we have bred them and trained them to do.
A successful
citizen.
Of,
thriving,
right.
working, educated, thriving individual that will be able to independently take care of themselves.
Productive citizen.
That's right.
These United States
of America. So it's so important that we move on with our lives as they move on with theirs.
Right.
And with that being said, so people say, well, what do I do with myself? I've heard that so many times. You know, I work in an arena where parents are constantly, you know, finding things to do with their children while they're school age. And some of them helicopter. They got to be over everything. Like, give your child the space to go and grow. Give them that space. And that's the only way you'll know that what you have taught them is taking effect.
Right. You can see it from afar.
Right. Stand back and watch them so that you'll know that they can do it. But I've seen parents come in and they don't want to let go. It's so hard for them to allow their children.
They're like that with their people that they work with that are adults. So of course they're going to be like that with
their
kids.
They don't want to let go. They want to hover
come into
over.
a very rude awakening at times where so even the kids let them know, hey, I got this.
Can you just let me breathe?
Right. Or they won't call that. Or they won't use it because they, like you said, they know now. I don't have to.
Right.
I'm grown.
Right. Yeah. So find something to do with yourselves. You know, those of you who are married, get the time. You and your spouse spend some time together, some quality time, uninterrupted time. When kids are around, it's very difficult to spend interrupted time.
I shared with our son that a lot of, you know, why we call it empty nesters, why we were even talking about this and why we do it so often is because sometimes the kids are the reason why the marriage was together because of that. And now they don't look at each other or want to even deal with each other.
Because it's always been about the kids. But people have to understand that the only reason why you have those kids is because you and your spouse that came together in love, came together, connected, and received those children.
Right, so that's why it's so important to, as time goes on, that
continue to keep that what you had rekindled and that love and
to always
attention.
Have dreams and aspirations to always go on outside.
Let the children.
Because you obtain those things that we have that and we're set now. We have the house, we have the car,
we have the career,
we have the kids. So now that's it. So all your checklists, your bucket list, you got to make another bucket list.
Yep, it's time to bucket it again.
Get some more.
Get your bucket list going once again. Don't get caught, and don't let your children take and cloud the space. Don't let your kids cloud the space that has been created as you and your spouse when you didn't have any children, to the point where you can't envision anything else but just being that parent to those kids. Right. You forget that you are a wife, you are a sexy wife, you are a wife that allured, and you were, and even though having children you may change, but you still got to keep your that vibrancy and that love alive and that drawing thing that you want for your spouse to come in. And the same with the husband.
Wait. Don't forget that you're a sexy husband, that you're a fine husband.
That's right.
And you work it, husband.
That's it.
So be that husband man and be that wife.
Yeah, woman. And just really keep those things together. And remember that you were a husband and a wife before you were a parent. Per se, because some people may have become a parent before they were husband and wife. But when you become a husband or a wife, when you're together and married, you were those things before you started having children from your spouse. And you need to remember that becoming a parent doesn't change the fact that your husband is important. He has need, and your wife is important.
And again, what we said, those bucket lists, how we set them up. Have I look forward to retiring, me and my spouse to retire together. And when we retire, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do that. And even as you do know, because those things can be done a little bit quicker now than they were because you were working, holding a job.
Right.
So you gotta do some nice different plans outside of just traveling.
But honey, what about the people who are not even close to retirement yet, but their kids are older, and then that you still need to make some good lists that's going to help you take up hobbies together with your spouse, plan to beef up your date nights, do something different,
have some date nights because everybody don't even know about
and
what's
the finances might be a little bit different now.
There's things you can do without that don't cause for so many finances.
That's right. So
learn how to
plan those things, but we just want to encourage you guys to just embrace the emptiness and have a good time with each other. You can go
online and you can find anything online.
It's all kinds of stuff out there for
things
you to do.
For couples to do, things for me to do since my child has
never left home, since our children
empty nester fun.
That's right.
Just put that
Google
in.
it. And guess what? If you don't feel like doing all that, inbox us. We will help you. I promise you.
We got fun ideals.
Because we're empty nesters.
Yeah.
And we loving it. I must say.
Right.
Been loving it for a minute. And we love being with each other. And we have our times together. And we have our times away from each other. And we look forward to it. Which is another
important thing.
It is. Yep.
You know, just like you had that child there over putting so much into the child.
That's right.
Don't put so much. You still put into your relationship, but also have put some stuff into the individual too.
That's right.
Your goals and
self-care.
aspirations for yourself.
Your personal self-care. Right. So we're gonna end this video right now, but we just want to remind y'all to embrace the empty nesting. Have fun with your spouse. Enjoy. Those of you who are not married, enjoy this time of aloneness, but being able to do good self-care, and make sure that you connect with people who are also empty nesting to do some great stuff together if you're by yourself. But we're looking forward to just reaching out more to you guys. And don't forget the Zooms we're going to be talking about sex and all kinds of other things that really connects your marriage together. We're going to have a Zoom link coming out very soon to take care of that, okay? Blessings to you, and always remember to live, love,
sex.
laugh, learn, and last. Oh my God, y'all. Blessings to you.
She said sex. Sex.
And you love it.
Yeah.
Hot. Blessings to you guys.
Have a wonderful
Have
day.
a great one. Take care. Bye-bye.